Shore Music Theater, and we're going to visit with the cast of Scrooge, all coming up later in the program. But right now, let's meet the owner of the show, Bill Hanney. We're Backstage Bistro. That is located, well, it's actually part of the North Shore Music Theater, and Bill's with me now. And Bill, you and I have had an opportunity to talk about this, so I know a lot about the restaurant here and a lot about the theater with Dave Coffey and everybody from Scrooge, the Christmas Carol. Now, one of the things that I find so interesting here is I was in this location before.
Okay.
And it sort of reminded me of when I was in the Army.
I can see why.
Okay, and got KP duty, okay?
Yeah.
Everything was rather utilitarian. But what an imagine, where'd you get all of these signs?
Well, the fun part about that, Pat, was that when I bought the theater, the restaurant came along with it, and I walked in there and I said, oh, a lot of flavors of brown. There was tan, brown, beige, no patterns, everything just flat, nothing on the walls, and I thought maybe they were in the middle of doing something or whatever, and they weren't. That's how they operated the restaurant.
Right.
So I had already stumbled across my props warehouse, and I said, well, what do we do with all this stuff? And now you see what we do with all that stuff, because we just started decorating this restaurant, changed the carpeting, changed the colors, added the bar over there, and just sparkled it up. And I tell you right now, people come in and their eyes open up, as you can see, as you look around. It's excitement now, as opposed to being very, very boring.
I know that you wanted to do something a little bit different, because everybody goes to the theater, and if they have dinner reservations early, all you do is sit there and worry.
Yes.
Am I going to finish this thing?
Is it going to get here in time?
That's correct. So you decided to do something really different with this restaurant. Tell everybody what it is.
Well, the interesting part, and I'll make a quick story. When I first reopened the restaurant, I did it with a partner, and we did a la carte, sit down, order off the menu, prepared as you go along. And it really doesn't work well for a theater, because everybody shows up almost at the same time,
right,
and more importantly, they all leave at the same time to catch that 8 o'clock curtain. So we had great reviews on the food, and everything was terrific, except it wasn't working so well for the audience. I completely changed it around. I said, this is not going to work, so what can we do to make people come in and they can order, eat as fast or as slow as they want, and get down the hill to the show? We did it by talking to several restaurant groups in the area, and now we have what we call guest restaurants. So each show will have a guest restaurant. This summer we had Dr. Average Joe's, Bertucci's, we have American Barbecue coming in to do a Christmas Carol. They used to own a restaurant called Jacob Marley's. They're doing a beautiful traditional Christmas buffet. And that has enabled us to basically service the people who we can set up to 140 people in here, all at the same time.
I just want to say that if I can jump back to American Barbecue, they're in Raleigh and Beverly, and they're great.
I'm told this by a lot of people, and they've done our Christmas buffet. This will be the 4th year now, and they did American Barbecue concept a year or two ago. People raved about it. So
it gets good reviews from us, truly.
And people love it here, so I'm good with that.
I want to find out if this is going to change much in the summertime, with the shows coming up in the summertime.
Just the host restaurants do. We kind of pick. We sometimes try to pick a restaurant that will go along with the show pretty well. And next year we've got 5 brand new shows coming out, so we don't know who we're going to pick yet. But I know a lot of the restaurants we've used this last couple of years all want to come back.
Now, when you and I sat down in the radio studio not long ago, all right, I told you that I was going to see Miss Saigon.
Yes, you did.
And I said that I had seen Miss Saigon in New York, and Toronto, and London, and Boston, and a couple of other places.
You're a Miss Saigon fan.
That obviously, I love Miss Saigon. Now, how are you going to do such a major production with a helicopter and everything else? I asked you a question. I said, how are you going to do the helicopter?
I wouldn't tell you.
You wouldn't tell me.
Can I tell you why though?
What?
We didn't know that.
Oh, you did?
We didn't know that. We were working on it, and we know how to come out.
It came out great. It was right over my shoulder. I had to look back, and there that sucker was.
Yeah, and as I said, did you feel the wind? Because we had a wind effect,
Yes.
which is kind of rare. I don't think it's ever been done.
Yeah,
we had fun with that.
I couldn't praise it. The cast crew were just absolutely flawless. Is the only way I could describe it.
And the thing sold so well too. And people just really couldn't get a ticket at the end. They said we should have added the Sunday night second extra performance, and I said, I'm not sure. Boy, am I kicking myself when you didn't.
Yeah, you could have sold that out with no problem at all. Yeah, and I'm looking. What do you have left after Scrooge?
That's it. Then we come in next season with Little Mermaid and Anything Goes. We've got Grease, Les Miserables, and Chicago. So, and then of course the return again next Christmas with A Christmas Carol.